So I messed up recently as a person. So I recently posted a video of the April 19th hands-off protest, and somebody left a comment. So I'm going to pull that up and read it. Usually when strangers comment, I'm always expecting like something negative. At least that's like my experience. But that could be that I'm just like slightly on the pessimistic side of things. And I'm just remembering that, I get more negative comments than I do good comments. Who knows? Remember, I've already mentioned I have a mood disorder. And on top of that, I'm Cuban. And Cubans, we tend to have a very fiery, loud, reactive way of responding, especially when we feel cornered. And my entire family is Cuban. And if you're not familiar with Miami, it's important to know that the vast majority of Cubans there are right-leaning Republicans. So just keep those two things in mind while I tell you the story, and don't judge too harshly too quickly. So a stranger responded to my hands-off protest video, and he just responded with like a GIF of Che Guevara. That's it. No words, just his image. And if you don't know who he is, he was a revolutionary. And he is a symbol with a lot of layered meaning, especially to right-leaning Cubans. And I'd love to do a video on that all on its own. But let me pull it up so I can tell you what happened. And then here's the comment. There's Che, El Che. And this is how I responded. Can't be more creative, huh? Sad and unsurprising. All I want is fair taxation, and this is the go-to reaction of small-minded people like you. Their reply, I think you misunderstood what I put. However, as you went directly to insult me without understanding the meaning behind what I posted tells me everything about you. I do have a small brain, but I'm not mean or insulting to people. My reply, well, I'm big enough to say that if I misunderstood, then I apologize. But I come from a family and culture that doesn't understand what that image even means because it's connected to a very messy past. I'm Cuban, so anytime I even hint towards income inequality, what do they call me? A communist, which to them means tyranny. So please understand where I'm coming from, and I'm willing to hear you out. In these days, it's very hard to know who is a loving neighbor and who we need to protect ourselves from. And then because I couldn't end it there, I have a small brain too. Truly, I'm sorry for going directly to thinking you meant to try and insult me. Man, this exchange made me realize that I wanted to do a video on this particular topic. This is what we need more of. More moments where we allow ourselves to feel a little bit of shame and then forgive ourselves for it so that when the next moment, the next opportunity arrives, we do better next time. We're better prepared to meet people with growth instead of regret, which is what I felt almost instantly, like putting a comment like that, even though I really felt like I was defending myself. I felt like I had every justification. Anytime I've mentioned, like I said, income inequality or fair taxation, immediately people's minds go to communism. That's my experience. So for me, sending me a GIF of Che Guevara, it was the equivalent of basically sending me a picture of Fidel Castro. Not the same. Obviously, there were two different people, but, Fidel Castro was influenced heavily by Che Guevara. So now I've been presented with a new experience. This guy's on my side, and he was trying to tell me he was on my side. But because of my experience, my worldview, my narrow worldview, I immediately thought he was just trying to call me a communist. Change is complicated, and especially for people who grew up in cultures like mine, where shame is both a taboo and a tool. It can be used as a weapon. I was discouraged from really speaking my mind. I was taught to fall in line, that after I mess up, I get punished, and that I have to grovel for forgiveness and then pretend it never happened. Like as if a mistake I made was like a stain on my soul. That's how it feels, like I can't, that was imperfect. That was not good of me. I'm a bad person. And it took many, many years of personal development and therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy in particular, to meet my own shame with compassion, to allow myself to be wrong without rolling in guilt and self-pity or defensiveness, trying to justify my bad behavior or my bad beliefs. I think we all instinctively fear shame because it can be weaponized. It feels like you're handing somebody a tool for them to use against you at a later date. And even after years of therapy, my gut reaction to that comment was to defend myself, to attack, because I thought I was being hurt. And in fact, I wasn't. Another lesson hidden in there is that not everything has the same meaning for everyone. Interpretation is a very personal thing. So yeah, we need more of that. We need more of the willingness to say, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my behavior was bad, harmful. Maybe I should feel shame. Not to punish myself, but to guide myself to grow, to be a better person, to make better choices. On my personal journey, I went from being very conservative to very progressive. And I came to that because in my experience, in my mind, in my opinion, I came to a difficult but very necessary realization. Left-leaning politics, at their core, aim to do the least amount of harm. That intention matters to me, even if achieving zero harm is impossible. I don't want anyone to suffer because of my choices that I make carelessly. But here's the thing, people on the far left can reach a place of empathy fatigue, where all they feel is burnout. And they too stop caring, not because they don't have empathy or never had it, but because they don't know how to hold on to it without self-destructing. Meanwhile, the right just feels like empathy was abandoned a long time ago. Both sides, in different ways, begin to forget the humanity of others that they disagree with. And that is the real danger. When you no longer care who gets hurt, but the damage always includes your own. Because we're all connected, man. You do harm to one human being, it's going to come right back to you somehow. We are not exempt from the fires we set. So I try to remind myself, I don't want anyone to hurt because of my choices. I don't want to hurt anyone, even when I feel hurt. Especially then. I would love to get to a place where I experience something and give myself pause to react. I've gotten a lot better at it. But it's still hard, especially when I'm experiencing symptoms. But in order to get to that place, I need to love myself enough to look in the mirror. I need to parent myself because I'm an adult. I'm an adult now. My mom, she's done. She's done parenting and she did her best. Now it's time for me to parent myself, to ask hard questions, to make peace with my flaws without excusing them, to forgive myself and just try to do better next time. Though I don't identify as a Christian anymore, I do still follow the basic teachings of Jesus. Main one, love your neighbor as yourself. But how can you love your neighbor if you don't love yourself first? How can you forgive other people for their choices if you can't forgive yourself first? Don't come up with justifications or excuses for your bad behavior. That's not how you love yourself. That's not how you accept yourself. Burying something under a rug and walking over it, that's not how you do that. You need to lift the rug, look at it, see what could have made the mess in the first place, and clean it properly. So loving yourself does not mean shielding yourself from shame. It means standing in it, rolling in it, breathing through it, and letting you land somewhere softer, more open, and most importantly, honest. It means leaving room to be wrong and growing from there. And once you can do that, once you can love yourself and forgive yourself, then you'll be able to love others properly as well. But I highly recommend working through this with a licensed professional to help you through your journey, because they are trained to ask the right questions at the right time, and they're constantly gauging what kind of discovery you're about to make about yourself or about your family or about how you were raised. They're not supposed to push you into those situations. And you should be very discerning about who you choose to hold your hand along your journey. Remember the 1 in 10. 1 in 10, and they can be in the psychotherapy profession as well. They're only there to point things out while you go through your journey. And they're there to catch you with compassion. They're not there to judge you. They're there to help you stop judging yourself and to stop judging others. When you have a healthy shame response, you will have healthy relationships, not just with other people, but with yourself too. So don't go it alone. Build a healthy support system. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. But yeah, the first step is looking in that mirror. Please check the description and you can see if there's any resources that I put in there that'll help you through your journey. Again, I am not a therapist. Please do not use these videos as a substitute for therapy. So don't judge yourself too harshly, but do take a good deep look and do a deep cleaning whenever you can, because if not, you're messing it up for everyone else. So the first step is looking. The next step is choosing love, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Thanks for listening, and I'm really having fun taking a look at the comments. Thanks again for being part of the space. Let's try to keep showing up for each other with curiosity, compassion, and empathy. Bye.